Tip number one, on this Tamiya truck we've got some moulding lines from the injection process. Remove those right from the get-go. If you leave them, they're only going to affect your paint finish. Use a scalpel or some fine wet and dry, but get rid of those moulding lines. Tip number two, once you're happy that you've removed any moulding lines from the component you wish to paint, get it washed. I like to use washing up liquid, or dish soap as they say in America, and a very fine Scotch cloth. That allows a good key for the next stage in the process. Tip number three, always use primer. It doesn't matter if your kits are plastic, resin or white metal. Use a primer. Get the very best out of the surface that you can. And a primer will show up any extra defects, saving you a bit of cost on the final top coat paint. Straight edges and parallel lines. If you're really struggling, here's a couple of ways you can do it. With some items that you're going to paint, the natural moulding lines on the model dictate the straight line. Have enough confidence, load the paintbrush well, and apply the paint. And a straight line is relatively easy to reproduce. If you don't have natural moulding lines, you're left with masking tape. Use a good quality one, a model making one such as this one from Tamiya. The coarse ones that you can get from the ones you get from DIY shops, you know, the grain's too coarse, paint will bleed. Make sure you work the masking tape fully into any crevices and hinges and gaps and any kind of moulding where the paint will bleed. But there's a different way to go with this option as well. So on our basic model here, we have a body colour in mind, a main colour for the project. This particular example has not been primered, but I'm assuming that you will have applied primer. And you've chosen your colour and you're now thinking about some striping. So, as we've already seen, we've applied some masking tape. And this is, of course, you know, it's the traditional way to do it, isn't it? We paint the main body colour, mask off the area we want to protect, remove the masking tape once the main body colour has dried, and we try to fill in that gap. And that's actually quite tricky to do. So what if we flipped it all on its head? So I'm just going to use this little bit of plastic card to demonstrate the principle. Main body colour white, and perhaps we wanted to paint the main body colour of our subject after primer in a dark blue colour, but we wanted a grey stripe. Why don't we apply the grey first, let it dry thoroughly, and then run our masking tape over the desired area and apply then our top coat. You'll find it gives a much neater result with a, you know, I've tried it repeatedly lately over several different types of models, die cast, plastic, resin. It seems to work really well for me, and maybe you should give it a try as well. If you want to paint a model but you really cannot separate the subject piece to avoid paint on things like glazing, then it's time to reach for the drawing gum, also known as artist masking fluid, readily available on all of the internet sites that you make your regular purchases from. How does this work? Let me show you how. Make sure you give it a good stir and apply. And you see what it looks like. It's almost as if you're applying nothing and it's running away from itself. But what this is actually doing is finding the gaps and the corners in your piece. Now, I would expect you to apply it a little bit more carefully than I am doing in this example. This is simply to show you how it works. While we're waiting for that to cure, just a reminder, don't use your best paintbrush with this stuff, and wash your brushes out in cold water. This dries to a rubberized solution, and therein lies one of its great properties. So after your masking fluid has dried thoroughly, you're going to apply your paint. And then it's time to remove the masking fluid. And by far the easiest way of doing that is to use a cocktail stick. And you can see I've started some here. Just gently work the masking fluid away. And because it has dried to a rubberized solution, it comes away very, very readily from your glazing or any other area that you wanted to protect from the painting surface. So tip number 6, after we've done all our painting and we're happy with the final body colours and our stripes and everything else, time to think about panel lines and weathering. Weathering is subjective and you may or you may not wish to do it, and I fully understand that, and it's certainly not compulsory. I do believe, however, that panel lines are compulsory, certainly on certain types of models. And just to show you what that can do, here is my old Spitfire kit, which is this particular one. I have no idea how many videos this has cropped up in over the years of my channel, and I had it a long time before that. But you can see the panel lines there accentuating on the underside of this model, which is now half in bits. But it really does make a difference. You know, you put the weathering on, a little bit of black wash and some panel lines, it really does help bring it to life. My hot tip number 7, after you've done all of that hard work, for the love of God, protect what you've done. Apply a clear coat. Again, this particular one from Tamiya, but there are many, many others out there. The last thing you want to do is spend forever getting that really perfect paint finish, only for your model to look a little bit faded and jaded in a couple of years' time, maybe with the odd chip of paint on it. Get it clear coated. Available in matte, silk, semi-gloss and full gloss. Use a clear coat to protect your models for that final polished look. My hot tip number 8, take your time in choosing the right colour paint and the right product and from the right dispenser. We can do anything nowadays. We can go with enamels, couple there, couple there. We can do acrylic, we can do rattle can, we can even go to the automotive store to choose a colour that might be a little bit left field but will give our model that perfect look, just how we want it to be. There's so much choice out there right now. It's never been a better time to start investigating how to paint our models. And just to prove that point, this is roughly 35-40% of my current paint collection. You really can get everything these days. Take your time, do your research, make the right choice for your projects. Hot tip number 9, painting doesn't always mean painting. If you're applying fine silver detailing to a model, or in black or even in white, something like one of these Pentel fine tip pens will do the job far better than you can ever achieve with a paintbrush or an airbrush. You just need to open your eyes, open your mind, and investigate what's out there. And finally, for my last hot tip number 10, there only leaves one question. How? How do we apply our paint? We've seen rattle cans in this video, we've seen brushes, and of course we've got airbrushes available now as well. I just want to talk a little bit about airbrushes. I've got several of them. Most of them actually are quite cheap ones like this. I do have 2 expensive ones, but I hardly ever use them. I find I can do just as well with brushing and masking tape and care and precision. And let's face it, it's a lot easier to clean out one of these than it is one of these. So think about how you're going to apply your paint. There is a trend at the moment, and it's been around for the last sort of 2 years or so, certainly, in our hobby, that you're not, if you don't have an airbrush, you're not a proper modeler. What a load of rubbish. What a load of rubbish. We were doing this stuff long before airbrushes and compressors came along. It is an option and it can be used to advantage. There's no denying that, but it isn't always a solution. And if you don't have an airbrush, please don't rush out and buy one just because everybody else has got one. It's not the way to do it. Investigate. That's my top tip number 10. Investigate your options and practice. So there you have it. Top 10 painting tips from the crazy professor here at St Blazey Model World. I hope you've enjoyed it and found it a little bit informative. I'd love to know what you think in the comments. You know, if you do have a view or an opinion, as always, don't have to agree with me. Leave a comment down below, and please feel free to give this video a thumbs up. I really would appreciate that. Helps me grow the channel. If you're not already a subscriber, hit the blooming button, will you? How long does it have to take? It's a free cost, you know, zero cost. Hit subscribe, select all. You'll get notified every time we release the next video here at St Blazey Model World. As always, it's been a pleasure to talk to you, and we will see you next time. Bye bye for now. Bye bye, guys. Bye bye.